All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am Sarabjit Kaur and with me is V. Ravi Kumar. The headlines. President Ramnath Kovind to address the nation on the eve of 75th Independence Day at 7 p.m. today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches Scrappage policy to phase out unfit and polluting vehicles, says government is working towards providing green and clean mobility. Government to ban manufacture, sale and use of single-use plastic items from 1st of July next year. RBI cancels license of Raigad-based Karnataka Nagari Sahakari Bank. COVID vaccination coverage crosses 53 crore mark. United Nations urges Afghanistan's neighbours to keep their borders open for civilians fleeing Taliban onslaught. And in cricket, India remains in commanding position despite defiance from England captain Joe Root in second test at London. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. President Ramnath Kovind will address the nation today on the eve of the 75th Independence Day. The address will be broadcast from 7 p.m. on the entire national network of All India Radio and telecast over all the channels of Doordarshan in Hindi, followed by the English version. The broadcast of the address in Hindi and English on Doordarshan will be followed by the broadcast in regional languages by the regional channels of DD. AIR will broadcast the regional language versions at 9:30 p.m. on its regional networks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveyed best wishes to writer and historian Baba Saheb Purandare on entering the 100th year of his life. Speaking at the celebration to mark centenary year of Baba Saheb's life through video conferencing, Mr. Modi said that Baba Saheb Purandare's life exemplifies the exalted notion of active and mentally alert centenary life as expounded by our sages. He also noted the happy coincidence of his century falling in the 75th year of India's independence. The Prime Minister highlighted Baba Saheb Purandare's contribution in writing history of the immortal souls of our glorious past.
ये सुखद संयोग ही है कि जब बाबा साहब जीवन के 100वें वर्ष में प्रवेश कर रहे हैं, तब साथ में ही हमारा देश भी आजादी के 75वें वर्ष में प्रवेश कर रहा है। मुझे लगता है कि बाबा साहब स्वयं भी अनुभव कर रहे होंगे कि ये संयोग उनके लिए उनकी तपस्या से प्रसन्न मां भारती का प्रत्यक्ष आशीर्वाद ही है.
The Prime Minister said all of us will always be indebted to him for his sterling contribution of taking the life and history of Shivaji Maharaj to people. The Prime Minister dwelt at length on the glorious personality of Shivaji Maharaj. He said Shivaji Maharaj is not only a colossus of Indian history, he also impacted the present Indian geography. He said the Hindvi Swaraj of Shivaji Maharaj is an unparalleled example of justice for the backward and the deprived and a war cry against tyranny. Mr. Modi said Veer Shivaji's management, his use of naval power, his water management are still worth emulating.
वीर शिवाजी का प्रबंधन, देश की सामुद्रिक शक्ति का इस्तेमाल, नौसेना की उपयोगिता, जल प्रबंधन, ऐसे कई विषय आज भी अनुकरणीय है और ये बाबा साहब ही हैं जिन्हें आजाद भारत की नई पीढ़ी को शिवाजी महाराज के स्वरूप से रूबरू करवाने का सबसे बड़ा श्रेय जाता है.
The Prime Minister appealed to the young historians to maintain the same standards when they write the history of India's freedom struggle on the occasion of Azadika Amrit Mahotsav. He also recalled Baba Saheb Purandare's contributions from the Goa Mukti Sangram to the Dadra Nagar Haveli freedom struggle. Baba Saheb Purandare has been honoured with Padma Vibhushan in 2019. The then Maharashtra government decorated him with Maharashtra Bhushan Award in 2015. Madhya Pradesh government also saluted him by awarding him the Kalidas Award.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has launched various events to mark the 75th anniversary of India's independence, being celebrated as Azadika Amrit Mahotsav. These events are to be organized by the armed forces and other organizations of the Defence Ministry. The events include unfurling of the tricolour at 75 places, army expedition to 75 mountain passes, and Janasampark Abhiyan, among others. The Tourism Ministry, in collaboration with the Association of Indian Universities, will launch a series of 12 episodes today at 1:30 p.m. on the eve of 75th Independence Day. Each of the 12 episodes will focus on diverse themes related to the cultural heritage of India. This will take the participants on a virtual journey of incredible India. The event will be inaugurated by Tourism and Culture Minister G. Kishan Reddy. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will be the chief guest of the event. As a part of Azadika Amrit Mahotsav celebration, the inauguration program will feature live streaming of a 20-minute film titled India at 75, A Journey. After the conclusion of the event, the participants can attempt a quiz based on the film shown during the webinar. The participants will be rewarded with participation certificate and surprise prizes for the fastest 1,000 winners. The Tourism Ministry is organizing several events nationwide to commemorate Azadika Amrit Mahotsav. They include heritage walks, walkathon, cycle rally, photo exhibition, nukkad natak, painting competition, live sessions on Facebook and YouTube. The ministry is focusing on children and youth to get them more acquainted with India's glorious past.
Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur has launched the nationwide program of Fit India Freedom Run 2.0 from Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium in New Delhi. Along with Delhi, the program was also organized in 75 other iconic locations across the country as part of the Azadika Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. The CRPF, CISF, ITBP, NSG, SSB, BSF, Railways and Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan also organized the run. Mr. Thakur interacted virtually with participants from across the country. The Information and Broadcasting Ministry has curated a series of innovative programs to celebrate the Azadika Amrit Mahotsav under the overall spirit of Jan Bhagidari and Jan Andolan. The objective is to ensure involvement of the people in recalling the spirit of sacrifice and patriotism in the journey towards a new India. Media units under the Information and Broadcasting Ministry have outlined a series of synergistic programs across the country through different modes and mediums. One of the key aspects of such programs is to recall the contribution of the freedom fighters, including the unsung heroes of the freedom struggle. All India Radio will be launching a unique, innovative program, Azadi Ka Safar Akashvani ke saath, on national as well as regional channels from the 16th of this month.
Azadi Ka Safar every day with All India Radio from Monday the 16th of August. As part of Azadika Amrit Mahotsav, News Services Division of All India Radio brings to you the story of the glorious struggle and sacrifices of freedom fighters on 100.1 FM Gold Channel in Hindi and English news at 8 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Stay tuned.
A year-long Amrit Mahotsav quiz is being organized by the News Services Division of All India Radio as a part of Azadika Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. Titled Amrit Mahotsav Quiz with AIR News, the quiz starts from Monday, the 16th of August 2021 on 100.1 AIR FM Gold Channel. The aim of the quiz is to raise the public awareness about India's freedom movement, its glorious history, art and culture, heritage, and strides in various walks of life over the past 75 years. Every Monday and Tuesday, one question each in Hindi and English will be asked at the start of the morning news bulletins at 8 a.m. in Hindi and 8:30 a.m. in English. The same question will be repeated towards the end of 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. news bulletins. Citizens can send their responses to the question over email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. From the correct responses, one lucky participant will be declared the winner of that edition of the quiz. The name of the winner will be announced in the morning bulletins at 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. the very next day, and also flashed on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize. So join us to celebrate 75 years of India's independence on Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. Delhi Police has made elaborate security arrangements in the national capital in view of the 75th Independence Day. Special arrangements have been made in and around Red Fort, from where the Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the nation. For the convenience of the public and security reasons, certain traffic restrictions have been imposed around the Red Fort. Only those vehicles with a valid pass issued by Delhi Traffic Police will be permitted around the Red Fort area tomorrow. Delhi Traffic Police will close many roads tomorrow from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. The parking facilities at Delhi metro stations will remain closed from today morning till tomorrow afternoon. A high-level meeting of senior officers from Delhi Police and other security agencies was held at the Red Fort yesterday to review the preparedness for Independence Day celebrations.
In the run-up to the Independence Day, we bring you a glimpse of significant steps taken by the central government which brought instrumental changes in the lives of people. In this series, today we bring you a report on the development in Jammu and Kashmir and the Northeast region. The Narendra Modi government has taken a series of measures for overall development of these two regions. After the abrogation of Article 370, Jammu and Kashmir has fully integrated into the mainstream of the nation, which led to its socio-economic development. While the government has initiated and implemented several initiatives in the Northeast region to build a robust infrastructure. More details from our correspondent.
Empowerment of people, removal of unjust laws, bringing in equity and fairness to those discriminated since ages with comprehensive development are some of the important changes witnessed after the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. With the conduct of panchayat elections, the three-tier system of grassroots level democracy has now been established in the Union Territory. Government has formulated a new industrial development scheme for the development of industries in the area. Besides, Jammu and Kashmir Infrastructure Development Finance Corporation has been set up for completion of nearly 6,000 projects that were languishing for years. All the flagship schemes are being implemented in Jammu and Kashmir under the Prime Minister's development package. On the other hand, the Northeast is becoming a major growth engine in the development of the country. Centre is providing support for the development of the bamboo sector in the region. It has approved Indradhanush gas grid project, which would be a 1,656 km long Northeast gas pipeline grid covering all 8 states of the region. In the road sector, 35 national highway projects have been awarded. With Divakar, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
As part of Azadika Amrit Mahotsav, Pedal for Health program was organized in 75 cities across the country today. In the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium in New Delhi, Health Minister Mansukh Mandviya, Sports Minister Anurag Thakur and Law Minister Kiran Rijiju participated in the event and cycled from the stadium to Akbar Road. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Mandviya said, cycling is good for health, environment friendly and saves fuel. He said cycling should be passion and urged everyone to do it daily. Mr. Thakur said fitness dose of half an hour daily is crucial to be healthy and fit. He said if people will be fit, the nation will be fit. He said a healthy India will be a strong India. Mr. Rijiju said cycling is a way of life and awareness on cycling has increased over the years. He said the government has brought cycling in priority sports, which was earlier in other sports category. He hoped that India can represent in cycling in Olympics and can bring a medal in the future.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. President Ram Nath Kovind to address the nation on the eve of the 75th Independence Day at 7 p.m. today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches scrappage policy to phase out unfit and polluting vehicles. Says government is working towards providing green and clean mobility. Government to ban manufacture, sale and use of single-use plastic items from 1st of July next year. RBI cancels license of Raigad-based Karnataka Nagari Sahakari Bank. COVID vaccination coverage crosses the 53 crore mark. United Nations urges Afghanistan's neighbors to keep their borders open for civilians fleeing Taliban onslaught. And in cricket, India remain in commanding position despite defiance from England captain Joe Root in the second test at London. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi formally launched the National Automobile Scrappage Policy and Investors Summit for setting up vehicle scrapping infrastructure through video conferencing at Gandhinagar in Gujarat yesterday. Addressing the summit, Mr. Modi said the launch is a significant milestone in India's development journey. He said the scrappage policy will give a new dimension to India's mobility with a new identity to its automobile industry.
इस पॉलिसी के तहत गाड़ी सिर्फ उसकी एज देखकर ही स्क्रैप नहीं की जाएगी। गाड़ियों का वैज्ञानिक तरीके से ऑथोराइज्ड ऑटोमेटेड टेस्टिंग सेंटर्स पर फिटनेस टेस्ट होगा। अगर गाड़ी अनफिट होगी तो वैज्ञानिक तरीके से स्क्रैप किया जाएगा। इसके लिए देश भर में जो रजिस्टर्ड व्हीकल स्क्रैपिंग फैसिलिटीज बनाई जाएगी वो टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन हो, ट्रांसपेरेंट हो, ये भी सुनिश्चित किया जाएगा।
The Prime Minister said the new policy will attract the investment of around 10,000 crore rupees along with thousands of new employment. He added the new scrapping policy is an important link in the circular economy and in the waste to wealth campaign. Mr. Modi said normal families will be greatly benefited by this policy in every way.
सबसे पहला लाभ तो ये होगा कि पुरानी गाड़ी को स्क्रैप करने पर एक सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा। ये सर्टिफिकेट जिसके पास होगा उसे नई गाड़ी की खरीद पर रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए कोई पैसा नहीं देना होगा। इसके साथ ही उसे रोड टैक्स में भी कुछ छूट दी जाएगी। दूसरा लाभ ये होगा कि पुरानी गाड़ी की मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट, रिपेयर कॉस्ट, फ्यूल एफिशिएंसी, इसमें भी बचत होगी। तीसरा लाभ सीधा जीवन से जुड़ा है। पुरानी गाड़ियां, पुरानी टेक्नोलॉजी के कारण रोड एक्सीडेंट का खतरा बहुत अधिक रहता है, उससे मुक्ति मिलेगी। चौथा, इससे हमारे स्वास्थ्य पर प्रदूषण के कारण जो असर पड़ता है उसमें भी कमी आएगी।
The government has notified the Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules 2021 prohibiting identified single-use plastic items by 2022. Pollution due to single-use plastic items has become a major environmental challenge. The manufacturing, import, stocking, distribution, sale and use of several single-use plastic will be prohibited with effect from 1st of July of next year. The thickness of plastic carry bags will be increased from 50 microns to 75 microns with effect from the 30th of September of next month and to 120 microns with effect from 31st of December this year. India is committed to take action for mitigation of pollution caused by littered single-use plastics. The waste management infrastructure in the states and union territories is being strengthened through the Swachh Bharat mission. The government has taken measures for awareness generation towards elimination of single-use plastics and effective implementation of plastic waste management rules.
The Reserve Bank has cancelled the license of Raigad-based Karnataka Nagari Sahakari Bank Limited in Maharashtra. In a press release, RBI said the bank has been directed to cease all operations from the 13th of August. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
As informed by the Reserve Bank of India, the license of Karnataka Nagari Sahakari Bank was cancelled due to insufficient capital and earning prospectus, and its continuance would have adversely affected depositors. RBI has added that the Commissioner for Cooperation and Registrar of Cooperative Societies Maharashtra has also been requested to issue an order for winding up the bank and appoint a liquidator for the bank. RBI has informed that 95% of the depositors will receive full amounts of their deposits from Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. On liquidation, every depositor would be entitled to receive deposit insurance claim amount of his/her deposits up to a monetary ceiling of 5 lakh rupees. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
India's COVID vaccination coverage has achieved the 53 crore landmark milestone. Nearly 56 lakh vaccine doses were administered yesterday. Over 30 lakh vaccine doses were administered as first dose and over 4 lakh vaccine doses given as second dose in the age group 18 to 44 years yesterday. The first nasal COVID-19 vaccine developed by Bharat Biotech has got regulatory approval for the second and third phase trials. This is the first of its kind COVID-19 vaccine to undergo human clinical trials in India. The Department of Biotechnology said the phase 1 clinical trial has been completed in the age groups ranging from 18 to 60 years. The company reports that the doses of the vaccine administered to healthy volunteers in this phase has been well tolerated and no serious adverse events have been reported. Previously, the vaccine was found to be safe, immunogenic and well tolerated in the preclinical toxicity studies.
In Jammu and Kashmir, Puja Archana of Holy Chhadi Mubarak of Swami Amarnath Ji was performed in Srinagar yesterday, which was attended by Lieutenant Governor Mahotsav. Niteshwar Kumar, Chief Executive Officer of Sri Amarnath Ji Shrine Board, and Anup Kumar Soni, Additional CEO of the board, were also present during the Chhadi Mubarak Puja. More details from our Srinagar correspondent.
Lieutenant Governor Mahotsav yesterday performed Chhadi Mubarak Pujan on the eve of Shravan Shukla Panchami at Mahadevgir, Dashnami Akhada in Srinagar. Shri Dipender Giriji Maharaj, Mahant of Chhadi Mubarak of Swami Amarnath Ji was also present on the occasion. While performing the Chhadi Mubarak Pujan, Lieutenant Governor Mahotsav prayed for sustained peace, prosperity and well-being of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. The Holy Mace will leave for its next destination from Dashnami Akhada Srinagar on 22nd of August and reach the holy cave of Sri Amarnath Ji via Pahalgam route on the occasion of Shravan Purnima, the day of Raksha Bandhan. The traditional Chhadi Pujan began on Vyas Purnima on 24th of July at Pahalgam, where Bhumi Pujan was also held. Pertinently, the pilgrimage to the holy cave of Swami Amarnath Ji Shrine was cancelled for this year as well in view of the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. However, arrangements were made for the virtual puja, havan and online prasad booking through various online services of Sri Amarnath Ji Shrine Board. Sri Amarnath Ji Shrine Board has also arranged for a live telecast of morning and evening aarti from the holy cave of Lord Shiva, both on TV and digital platforms. Sunil Kohl, AIR News from Srinagar.
In Jammu and Kashmir, security forces have arrested one more terrorist of Hizbul Mujahideen in Kishtwar district of Jammu division. The police said the nabbed terrorist was arrested in a joint operation by Kishtwar Police, 17th Battalion of Rashtriya Rifles and 52nd Battalion of CRPF from Kulna forest area of Pati Mahalla Palmar in Kishtwar district yesterday. The terrorist, who has been identified as Muzammil Hussain of Kishtwar, had joined the outfit a few days back. One grenade, one magazine of AK-47 assault rifle with 30 live rounds have been recovered from his possession. Security forces have arrested two newly recruited Hizb terrorists a few days back. In a major breakthrough ahead of the Independence Day celebration, security forces yesterday recovered a large cache of arms and ammunition from a decade-old natural crevice in Sarula forest in Doda district of Jammu division. A joint team of Special Operations Group of Jammu and Kashmir Police, Army and paramilitary troops launched a cordon and search operation in Tanta forests of Doda district, and during the searches, a terrorist hideout was unearthed and a large quantity of arms and ammunition was seized.
The United Nations has urged Afghanistan's neighbors to keep their borders open as the number of civilians fleeing the Taliban onslaught is increasing. Warned of a humanitarian catastrophe, the World Food Programme said thousands of those internally displaced have been arriving in Kabul, seeing the capital as their last safe refuge. The advance comes as the US and other foreign troops withdraw after 20 years of military operations. According to the UN, more than 1,000 civilians were killed in Afghanistan in the last month alone. Chasing India's first innings score of 364 runs, England were 119 for 3 at stumps on day 2 of the second test at Lord's Cricket Ground in London. England captain Joe Root on 48 and Johnny Bairstow on 6 were at the crease when stumps were drawn yesterday. The hosts are trailing by 245 runs. For India, Mohammad Siraj claimed 2 wickets while Mohammad Shami bagged 1. Earlier, KL Rahul's impressive 129 and Rohit Sharma's gutsy 83 knock helped India score 364 runs. From the host side, James Anderson took 5 wickets while Ollie Robinson and Mark Wood bagged 2 each. England had won the toss and opted to bowl.
In Uttar Pradesh, the flood situation continues to remain grim in many parts. 24 districts of the state are reeling under the flood fury and many major rivers are in spate. Union Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi visited flood-affected areas of Prayagraj district in Uttar Pradesh yesterday. He said that the central government is keeping an eye over the situation of floods in Uttar Pradesh and is ready to provide every possible help to the state government on priority.
Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi took stock of the flood situation in Prayagraj at Daraganj and Jhansi areas. On the other hand, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is daily visiting the flood-affected areas of the state. After Varanasi, he visited Ghazipur and Balia districts. In Balia, more than 1.5 lakh people of 34 villages are affected due to flood in Saryu, Tons and Ganga rivers. Chief Minister directed officials in Ghazipur and Balia districts to intensify the rescue and relief operation. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Bihar, flood situation has further deteriorated in 15 districts including Patna, Buxar, Munger, Bhojpur and Bhagalpur. Surging waters of Ganga have entered in urban areas of Patna, Bhagalpur and Munger situated near the river bank. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar visited flood-affected areas alongside the Ganga and Son in Patna, Bhojpur and Saran districts to take stock of the situation.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. The temperatures will vary between 27 and 36 degrees Celsius. Mumbai, the minimum temperature was 26, maximum will be around 32. Chennai is expected to have a generally cloudy sky. Kolkata again will have a generally cloudy sky. Srinagar, the temperatures will hover between 18 and 27 degrees Celsius. Jammu, the minimum temperature was 27, maximum will be around 32. Leh is expected to have a generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain. Gilgit, the temperatures will hover between 17 and 36 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad, the minimum temperature was 17 degrees Celsius, maximum will be around 24 degrees. Guwahati will have a generally cloudy sky. Imphal again will have a generally cloudy sky. Shillong, the temperatures will hover between 18 and 26 degrees Celsius. Aizawl, the minimum temperature was 19 degrees, maximum will be around 27 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Most newspapers today have taken note of the national automobile scrappage policy launched by Prime Minister Modi. Quoting the Prime Minister, the pioneer leads with, "Scrapping policy, impetus to mobility of New India." The other story that hogs the limelight today is the ongoing fight between Taliban and Afghan security personnel. Hindustan Times writes, "Kandahar falls, Taliban on way to Kabul's gates." With countries flip-flopping with COVID-related restrictions, students caught in a logjam in the run-up to fall semester is a front-page headline in the Business Standard. Bharat Biotech's COVID nasal jab gets nod for phase 2 and 3 trials, writes the Asian Age, while quoting Serum chairman, the Economic Times writes, "Mix vaccines only if first one unavailable." Under the caption "Record Run," the Financial Express writes, "Market scale new peaks on IT rally." And finally, in a bid to reduce plastic litter, single-use plastic items to be banned from 1st July 2022, informs the Statesman.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President Ramnath Kovind to address the nation on the eve of 75th Independence Day at 7 p.m. today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches scrappage policy to phase out unfit and polluting vehicles, says government is working towards providing green and clean mobility. Government to ban manufacture, sale and use of single-use plastic items from 1st of July next year. RBI cancels license of Raigarh-based Karnataka Nagri Sahakari Bank. COVID vaccination coverage crosses 53 crore mark. The United Nations urges Afghanistan's neighbors to keep their borders open for civilians fleeing Taliban onslaught. And in cricket, India remains in commanding position despite defiance from England captain Joe Root in second test at London. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.